Hey guys, it's Webby here in Melbourne on a sunny Thursday evening. You can see just behind me is the Mercedes Me store here in Melbourne. Tonight I'm actually going to a VIP event with the Mercedes Formula One team. So hopefully going to get to see Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and apparently maybe some other VIPs. So hopefully a pretty good evening in store. So yeah, without further ado, let's head in and see what the evening entails. So inside Mercedes Me in Melbourne now. The place is getting pretty busy. Everyone's getting very excited. Not surprising really, because a couple of other famous racing drivers are going to be here soon. Never been here before, but I have to say it's a pretty cool place. All these model cars they've got here. Legend is McLaren.
That car, it's actually going to be in the Mercedes lounge at Albert Park over the weekend as well. But look at it, beautiful car. Ticks all of the boxes through.
Calm down.
They need no introduction from me, but one 6-time world champion, one 7-time Grand Prix winner, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. I'm not sure there's room for Tony, I don't know.
It's in the boot. Don't tease Lewis about
Also, folks, before we move on, just a big shout out to Bernd Maylander as well. Great chat earlier. Life as a safety car driver. Nothing like as glamorous as the lives that these guys lead, but fascinating and an integral part of Formula One as well. So as I said earlier, Lewis is running for his third victory here in Australia this weekend. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a look upstairs, you're going to see two faces that you recognise, very familiar. Lewis Hamilton entering his 40th There was an awful lot of whooping and excitement when I saw it was you guys. Welcome, thank you guys. Thank you. Great to see you. Nice. You developing?
I think it was outside the harbour, maybe. Freaking harbour's huge, but anyways, yeah, so it was beautiful out there, and I got to film it, I got to drive it. It is a prototype, so it's not perfect. But it goes and it breaks, which is, it slows down, which is good at the moment. But I think it looks beautiful. I'm super excited. And when every race that I'm going to, I have the EQC, and I'm just excited to see what's next. And if this is coming out next year, this is going to be fantastic.
Amazing thing, there's no dashboard. Is that right?
Yeah,
I just put my head in through the window.
I really don't know how that's going to work, but it's a projection. And the projector's supposed to project all the dials on the dashboard. But I don't know, I got a big head. My head was definitely in the way of the projector. So I don't know, I'm sure they've got some fancy ways of making it work.
Now, Valtteri, what about your impressions? It definitely fits with the Mercedes ambition of sustainable modern luxury. That is definitely the buzzwords about their concept cars. Your impressions?
First time I saw it, I thought, it's pretty amazing. And I've seen some pictures some time ago, but actually seeing it live, and it's not that far away that they're planning to put it out. So really impressed, and it's just quite a big step into the future with everything. And again, the engineering is so impressive, and yeah, just for sure many things still to make it work perfectly, but I have no doubt that they will do it.
It looks really futuristic, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's like a spaceship.
It's like a Tron car, no? It's like the Mercedes Tron car. That's the movie Tron?
Yeah. It really is fantastic. Really cool. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be in the Mercedes Lounge at Albert Park over the weekend if you're going. So, look, before we
I
start...
like the wheels. It's got 24-inch wheels, and I like big wheels.
Well, Formula One's going 18-inch wheels, so it's some way to suit Lewis next year. But before we talk about on-track stuff, guys, I just wanted to ask you about your winter, how you've been. I mean, two highly charged sportsmen, wrapped up in cotton wool, not. They've both done some amazing things. And I mean, Lewis, 2 wheels, Valentino Rossi's MotoGP bike in December.
That's pretty hardcore.
Pretty hardcore. We've got Mick Doohan in the audience, actually. Lewis, Mick Doohan in the audience as well. I mean, it was. How much did you enjoy that?
I've always loved bikes, and most people probably don't know, but I wanted to do motocross riding before I got a go-kart, and my dad didn't want me to. So he said it's too dangerous, so he got me a go-kart, which I'm really grateful for. I probably wouldn't be racing for too long on 2 wheels. I mean, it's such an adrenaline rush, and the bike. I mean, the lines are kind of similar, but they're also different. But as a racing driver, you can kind of relate. Once you get on the bike, you can relate to, I think, what the rider does. But I was like 5, 6, whatever seconds off. Those next seconds, I'm definitely going to break something. So I remember my last couple of runs on the bike, I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm good. I want to enjoy my winter. I don't want to be in a hospital bed. But it's just, it gives you your respect and appreciation for what the riders do. I think it was already very, very high. But once you've experienced it, I mean, the bike is incredible. Seamless shifts going up, the thing just continues to pull. And you're ducking down, but as soon as you lift up, you get the wind on your chest, you nearly blow off the bike at 200 plus miles an hour. So,
do you feel very vulnerable on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
But I love that stuff, so
Yeah.
it was just amazing. Just to be on the road with Valentino, after watching his whole career and then being right behind him, and it was so easy for him. He was going so slow, clearly. But you could see him, he just had time to always look back and just, telling me where to put my bike. Like holding on for dear life, trying to keep up with him. But it was a cool experience.
You got your knee down, though, right there.
I did. I couldn't get my elbow down. Next time I'll get my elbow down.
Phoebe, how about you? Are you a 2-wheel fan as well, or is it skidoos up in Finland?
Well, yeah, for sure, like 2 wheels as well. But yeah, and honestly, I just love everything that drives and that you can control and have fun with. I had to put different 2 wheels this winter.
Wow, I'm probably going to race by the end of this.
It's also a good fun.
Well,
Good for fitness, for sure.
Valtteri, you've done more than that because you've been rallying as well. That's what I was alluding to when I was saying you guys do some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, so actually the first thing after the last race in Abu Dhabi last year, I did rally on tarmac in France, which I got my first rally win. It was a small event, but anyways, it was good fun. Then I did the Arctic Lapland Rally again with WRC. Made it a bit more difficult event for myself, going off a couple of times in the first day, but I'm still in one piece, so all good. But yeah, I just love trying new stuff, and driving, and I think similar feeling to Lewis, that when you try some other sport against guys that are on top of their game, it really just opens your eyes, and it's actually at the same time really interesting and really enjoyable to try and get there, but at the same time really annoying because like being behind. So
It's super competitive.
Do you think doing things outside of your comfort zone makes you a better racing driver?
Well, I mean, I'm generally doing it in my comfort zone. I don't feel like I'm out of my comfort zone. December was probably the best month of the year because I did 10, just before towards the end of November, so before the Abu Dhabi race. I got 10 jumps in one day, skydive jumps in one day. It's freaking awesome. And so then,
up, down.
Yeah, just as soon as you got to the bottom, just put on another rig, shoot back up. It was one of the best days ever. And then I had the race. Obviously, the race went well. Then I went away to the MotoGP riding. Then eventually winter came. We went snowboarding and heliboarding, and yeah, so we were doing pretty hardcore stuff. And so I'm grateful to be here in one piece. Obviously,
So we're grateful too. Valtteri, how about you? Do you think rallying makes you a better racing driver? The reason I'm asking you that is that Robert Kubica said that he did some rallying before he had a terrible accident, but he said it made him a better racing driver, he believed. Do you believe as well?
I think I would do it if I thought it would make me worse. You know, I think I do it for two reasons, because it's a lot of fun. You know, I really enjoy the completely different driving style, and you know, all the time drifting and playing with the car. But also because I feel it's a benefit. You know, it keeps you sharp. You know, at least in the winter you get to drive something, and for the concentration is really good, and for sure for your car control, it's always good. Although it's different.
I spent my winter on the PlayStation just driving Gran Turismo.
Can we play you online? What's your name?
You know what? I play online, and there's someone out there that uses has my name above. I've been racing, and this guy just keeps hitting me off, and his name is Lewis something. This guy has no idea that he's racing me. I get the lead, and the guy shunts me off all the time. I'm like, damn it. I think it's like Lewis 44 or something. Yeah, I just cracks me up every time.
Now, you guys, this is your 4th season together here at the team. How well do you know each other? If I was to say to you, Valtteri,
We had a test last year, I think, in Abu Dhabi, but we didn't know a lot.
what sort of Mr. and Mrs. type test?
Yeah, you have to read out these cards. Don't you?
How did it go?
I think he got a lot more than me. I did.
So, Valtteri, if I said to you, what's Lewis's favourite circuit, would you know?
I don't really have one, so.
Great question. I've done my research.
I think for sure being in the same team for 4 years, and you know, being at every race weekend, working together for you know, I don't know how many hours, but it's a lot. And racing against each other, you get to know the person. But obviously, then when it comes to details like favorite track or you know, some private things, yeah, then we're not maybe the best in knowledge.
I think it's just about ultimately when you're working because it's a really unusual environment. You know, we're working for a constructors championship and a drivers championship, so there's a conflicting sport in the sense of it is a team, it's teamwork, but also so we do have to work together to push the team forward, but then individually we want to win. And I think it's we don't overcross the respect barrier. It's like a boundary. We keep, you know, we communicate, and we don't have a problem talking, and we can have a coffee if we need to or something like that, but he doesn't divulge into my life and vice versa, and we're always supportive of each other and positive towards each other, and I think being able to keep some of your privacy, I think, is a good thing. So, I mean, it works.
From the outside looking in, it seems you guys rub along together pretty well. Is that how you see it on the inside?
Yeah, I think like Lewis said, you know, we know the facts that we're both here to win races, but at the same time we want to work together because it benefits us as a team and it makes us a really strong team.
Valtteri, I don't think you're being truthful. Has anyone seen Drive to Survive, Netflix?
Yes.
You know, he said being Lewis Hamilton's teammate is a pain in the ass. Did you not say that? I think you did.
But I think the line continues.
Oh, they cut that bit.
I must have said it. I think they asked because he's pretty quick sometimes. I
was going to say the same thing. I think that's more of a compliment, probably. You know, we do make each other's lives hard, but that's the thing of the game. And I think that's probably why we respect each other so much, also because we have similar work ethics in the sense that we just get on and do our job. And if Valtteri does a better job, he knows I don't complain about it and don't complain and say that it's another, you it's the car or something like that, I just have to go back to the drawing board and work harder. And he does the same thing. He'll be in the sim, making sure that he proves in turn 10 or whatever corner that may be on that certain track. So that's just how we work.
Do you want the same thing from the car?
Mostly more or less. Sometimes some differences, but
Yeah, generally I think it's quite similar our setups. Subtle differences in our driving styles, but generally similar.
Cool. Well, look, let's bring it on to this season. I was at winter testing. I thought you guys looked pretty good from where I was sat. Lewis, you did more laps than anyone else in testing. Have you come away thinking you've got a rocket ship underneath you?
I mean, I didn't know that, but I know. I think we did. There's one day I think Valtteri had an issue with the car and lost some mileage. I mean, it doesn't really mean a huge amount between us in that sense, but I think it's great for showing as a team. We used to have a lot of days of testing, and it went shorter and shorter and shorter. And now we only have 6 days, and those 6 days get pretty intense. And back in the day, I think when I got to 4 days, 20 laps in a day, and we had 2 cars. But now we have that 1 car, and we split between the 2 of us. It's only this year that the other teams have now caught on to the split driver thing. It's taken them years to realise it's better. Because for me, I get to 100 laps and I don't really want to go much past that. And then it starts getting really competitive. And then you start thinking, whilst you're doing your laps, you start thinking of, what am I doing next week? What am I going to have for dinner? You just go into autopilot. So it's actually not that good in terms of at the end of the day giving back feedback, because you want to be fresh. And you want to push your body and your mind, but you also want to get to the end of the day and be positive and be like, okay, this is where the issue is. So they get 2 sets of feedback from 2 drivers in the day, which I think is great. And also I think back in the day there used to be, one day would be Valtteri's, one day would be mine, for example, and it could be raining on one of our days, and so you then on the back foot. So, but yeah, definitely coming here, I think we definitely had some problems at the last couple of days of testing with our engine, but I think the guys have fixed it, so things crossed. Hopefully we'll start on rough for this weekend.
And Valtteri, where do you see the opposition coming up?
Sure, the other big teams, they have a great motivation to beat us. That's how it works, and for them we are the clear target they want to get, and for sure they make their plan to try and get there. And for us as a team, we need to set targets for ourselves and work united for those, and really push on and make their own targets to achieve. It's so difficult to predict for winter testing, obviously. We felt we have a good car, we have a strong base for the beginning of the year that we can definitely further develop, no doubt. But I think Red Bull and Ferrari both, they will be correct. It doesn't matter what I say now, we'll see in a couple of days anyway.
And on a personal level, you had your best season in Formula One so far last year. What do you do over the winter to try and make the next step, other than grow a really long beard? Has anyone seen that? Valtteri 3.0. Is it just peace and quiet and reflection, or is it more proactive than that?
You always need to find the balance in life, because once the season starts for us and once we start getting busy, like already mid to end of January for the season, it's pretty full on until the last race in Abu Dhabi and even a bit after that. So you need to take a step back sometimes, do other things, think other things, and really refresh your mind, because I feel sometimes it's really good to take a step back, look at the big picture of life and this sport, and you might realize some things to develop yourself. So I feel I've had a nice mixture of time off and also being productive and working within engineers. So you always keep trying to find more about yourself, what works for you, how to get to the best you for every single race weekend, and I feel I've been able to improve again on those things, but again, doesn't matter what I say now, we will see on track, but I really look forward to it.
And a little trip to Australia as well?
This is my third trip to Australia in 3 months, actually.
Where have you been?
I love that, Steve.
He's got a cyclist up there, are you a kid?
Tiff, of course. Yeah, so
Is it close or not between you and Tim?
it depends. You know, if we go for longer rides, then yeah, no chance. You know, the endurance pace that they have is amazing. If you're sprinting for 10 seconds, I'm pretty strong, but I haven't heard a bike race of 10 seconds yet. So.
But Timmy, where have you been when you came down?
Mainly in South Australia, Adelaide. Then I went to Port Lincoln. I wanted to go to KI, but unfortunately, nearly the whole island was on fire when I was supposed to go. Then we went to Tasmania for a few days, which was absolutely beautiful, for like a mountain bike trip to Derby. It was nice. Just all around South Australia. Enjoyed some good sport, good wine at Barossa and McLaren Vale as well.
Fallen in love with Australia. And actually, Lewis, you on your way out here didn't make a reference to the bushfires there, but tell the guys here, you went to New South Wales, didn't you? What did you get up to? What did you see?
I don't know, was it mixed up? The Blue Mountains, is that mixed up?
Yeah.
There's always different names. Yeah, I went to see the Blue Mountains. I just, my winter, I remember just watching the news and seeing the horrifying images of the bushfires and the devastation here. I just thought it was worrying and just, it was so sad to see. But then more and more for me, and I'm a big animal lover, seeing that 1.5 billion animals perished in that time, and just, I couldn't get my mind around that figure. Because it's obviously just an astronomical number, and I felt so helpless. I back home, sitting in my living room over winter in the mountains, and just knowing that people were struggling and animals were suffering. I was like, what can I do? I must be able to do something. So I was able to get in touch with a couple of different organizations from when I was posting on social media, and I was reposting as much stuff as I could just to raise awareness. And then I was talking to some of those in the background and was able to help fund some progress and help fund some of the people that are volunteering, like the rural forest services. And so then I was like, I want to get there. I want to go and help put the fires out myself. And everyone around me was like, well, you can't do that. So that's how crazy I am. Literally, I wanted to just do whatever I could, even if it's picking up an animal with a blanket and just help give them some water. But so anyway, so I was like, when I come out here, I want to go and see it firsthand because it's different. I've seen it on TV, and so we landed like early in the morning, straight from the airport, 2-hour drive, and then you start seeing the devastation, the bush, all the trees, the whole forest all burned, and green had started to come back, started to start to look a little better, but it was still, I stopped and saw all the forest and all the trees all burned. And I got to meet some people who were volunteers working with wires, and just see how, get to talk to them firsthand and see how it affected them, how horrifying it was for them, and then see the great work they're doing, like kind of raising some of these new baby animals, like some giraffes, and they had wombat was the coolest thing that I think I've ever seen. Growing up, my mum used to call me a wombat all the time. And I never knew what the freaking heck a wombat was. She was like, you bloody wombat. So I'm sitting there holding this wombat, and I'm like, no, it's a pretty cute animal. But one of them had 2 broken legs, and so it had and the front leg had been damaged also, so it had metal plates been put in. And so this woman had helped save that animal, and there's a few different people that I met that had done the same thing. So, and that for me was just great to see that there's actual people out there that do really care, that do have a good heart, because there's a lot of evil around, and that was really inspiring for me to see that.
What was the overriding emotion when you landed, or when you arrived in the Blue Mountains and saw the devastation?
Firstly, it's beautiful out there. I never even knew, I didn't know. You see some images, but I've never really traveled a lot around. I've only really been to the cities, so I've only been to Sydney, through the city, and again, it's been there for like a day. And otherwise, I just come to Melbourne every time. And again, I've not really ventured outside of the city, so to be traveling through and see the countryside is freaking beautiful. Every time I got out of the car, I was terrified of spiders. I'm not lying. I was like, there's no spiders around here. Every section we went to, you got some crazy killer animals out here. But every Australian was like, no, they don't. It's not that dangerous. It's not dangerous at all. It's just the second most venomous snake. You can die in 30 seconds. But yeah, I think it was just really seeing, again, just firstly the mountains, and you could see it as far as the eye could see, but you could see the burnt trees for as far as the eye could see, which was just kind of. And then they showed me some videos of that they had taken during that period of time that come right really close to the house, and I mean, geez, it must have been just the most scary thing. And I've never experienced anything like that. So, but I'm glad it's done. I'm glad the weather came, and now it's about moving forward. And I hope these guys also working to make sure that these animals don't go extinct. So, which I'm sure some species have. So, fingers crossed. There's great positivity ahead.
Yeah, great work. Talking of positivity, Laureus Sportsman of the Year in the room with us, Lewis Hamilton. Joint with Lionel Messi, a soccer player. I'm sure we all know who Lionel Messi is on here, but Lewis, that's an accolade. Formula 1 World Champion is a good one, but that's a good one as well, isn't it? Sportsman of the Year.
Honestly, I've always avoided award ceremonies. I don't like being on stage normally. It's okay when you're doing like a Q&A, but when you have to get out and make a speech, it's the worst feeling ever. But I don't mind going and watching other people receive awards. And honestly, just being in the room, I felt very much, I was amongst my peers, I was getting to see, show up on the screen all the greats that have great athletes and champions at the world before. So it was a real honor to receive it. And then, but the best part of it was just watching afterwards all these great athletes get up and share their stories of where they come from. The rugby, the African rugby team, and there was so many great Olympic athletes that come up and show their story, and I was like so moved and inspired by their stories. And I think that's a great thing. Athletes can, sport really can help change people's lives. It can change mine. It's given my life. So that for me was, I got to stay right to the end. I got up, and then I got to meet a bunch of them afterwards. And
who were you most excited to meet among your peers?
I don't know. I already knew Dirk. So tall, Dirk. Pretty short next to him. Who else? I don't know. I think there was as a young girl, Sky Brown, a young skater, and we've been messaging over Instagram because I was like, she's been freaking awesome. She's 11-year-old. She's going to be, I think she's 11 or 12. She's going to be skating in the Olympics, which is incredible. But I think there was many. I did want to meet the South African, the rugby team, so I got to meet them backstage.
That's sweet. Elliot Kipchoge as well.
Yeah, I met him before. That's just ridiculous. So I was just asking him how fast are you running? He's running flat out the whole time for 2 hours. He's like, yes.
It's like 24 Ks on the running machine.
I couldn't do that on the running machine, so.
Phoebe, how about you? When you're looking at other sports, who do you look up to? Who do you most admire?
Well, obviously, many other sports. There's so many heroes that motivates you. I can't say one name, but I love all the sports and love the dedication for people who love hearing the stories. What has always been taken from the people and people around them to get there, and it is really inspiring.
I saw you're a hockey player, aren't you? Ice hockey player.
I used to be. Now I'm just a wannabe. Now I'm one of these cyclists as well.
But I'm thinking of those 10-second sprints. You can do it. So guys, it's so wonderful to speak to you. I just wanted to end today talking about Albert Park, the track. You both won here before. Valtteri won this race last year. Lewis. Lewis has won here twice before, overtook in his first Grand Prix Fernando Alonso at the first corner. Lewis in 2007. So you both go well here, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on the track, what it's like to drive. Just try and share some thoughts and memories of the place with the guys in the room.
Yeah, for me it's a cool track. It's always really special atmosphere for sure because of its first race of the season. So everyone is super excited to get it started, but also the local support is always really nice and supportive. So it's just a nice city overall also to come to. And as a track, there's a nice character. It's a bit of a bumpy track, so that brings nice character. Pretty technical in places and really penalizing if you make mistakes, and I kind of like that. So it's pretty nice event, and I'm really happy that at least for now, with what's happening in the world, the event is going forward, because in the end I just love racing, but obviously we take it day by day, and we want to make sure everyone is safe.
Do you really like bumps? Because I remember a few years back when you were at Williams, didn't you dislodge was it a disc in your back?
Yeah.
Here, over a bump?
Yeah, thanks to the bumps.
Yeah. He likes the bumps.
Yeah, makes it tougher.
Doesn't have suspension back there in that car.
Lewis, just a few thoughts from you on Albert Park and the challenge ahead this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, well, you said everything basically. I mean, I've been coming here, this is my 14th year here, so I remember my first year coming here and how much pressure there was that weekend, and the excitement that I had then, I have just the same amount now, which is I was not expecting to have in my 14th season. But I remember that. Sorry. Oh yeah. Well, I've actually lost a lot of races here. I think I was on the front row in quite a few other races that I probably should have converted, but other things, things didn't always go to plan.
6 poles? He's had 6 poles.
Yeah, so I'm not going to work enough.
Get it done this year, man.
So we're going to work on that this weekend. But yeah, but otherwise, just you have that off season. You don't race for a long period of time, so you start missing the car, you start missing racing, and that's really what we exist to do. So and you arrive here, and it's the longest flight of the year, but you enjoy it because it's the furthest that you're going to go. You've done all that training, all that commitment, and then you get there. The weather's usually fantastic here. It's a little bit cold in Sydney when I'm actually.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a bit up and down, but it's still, and the track is really fantastic. It's basically it's a street circuit, a bit like Monaco for us. It's a great track to drive on a single lap. It's not the best racing circuit because it's very difficult for us to overtake in that sense. It's a great. I take the wrong way. It is a great track, but I think last year there was only 10 overtakes or something like that. I think Monaco we don't really have any, and I think this on the scale of the 21 races, this is like the 3rd or 4th hardest track to overtake. So I heard today that they might make some changes for the future, but I definitely think we've got to keep this here. And yeah, maybe they can spend a little bit more money on them. a bigger, longer track maybe, because the cars are getting faster and faster, so the time's getting slower.
Or we could race in Adelaide, it's pretty cool city.
Again, that's love talking. I never been to Adelaide. I'm getting serious.
Guys, on that note, Adelaide versus Melbourne. No, these guys both love Melbourne. You rest assured. Come to Queensland. Okay. Guys, I just want to say, aren't we lucky to have just spent a bit of time with these guys tonight? I think from all of us in the room, not only for this weekend but for the season ahead, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas.
Really stay safe, don't touch anything. It's not a joke. Don't be shaking hands, elbow someone or foot them or whatever it is. We really need to be so careful, it's a serious thing that's moving around today, so guys.